What's up, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Happy Monday, by the way. Hopefully, the start of your week is going well. We got a lot of news here in today's video. I want to cover it all in one video and not separate them just to make it easier for you guys today. So, you guys have everything in one area. First, let's check out what's happening in game right now. We do have the Tena deck of fate happening right now. So, Tena is going to be the prize in this ethereal deck of fate. Just going to quickly look over this real quick. We got the 100 fragments here of Tena. If you want to guarantee yourself getting Tena, you basically have to prepare to finish the entire deck of fate. We do see a primal shard in here, as well as a void shard and a legendary book, and even a 4-star basalt, which is pretty nice. Something that is not here that is a little bit surprising is relic materials. So no relic materials in here this time. Maybe it's not too surprising for some of you guys. There's also no pin rarity for these chests. So the likelihood of you getting multiple of these epic big chest rewards are pretty slim, but hopefully you get at least one if you complete the entire deck. Tena Soulseer, she's a pretty good champ. I did some showcase on her in a pretty wacky build. You guys can check it out just to see what she's actually capable of. But I think she's going to help most people out. She got the speed in all battles aura. She's got the buff duration decrease as well as the cooldown increase. And she has a turn meter boost. She also packs a bit of poison in her kit, which is an odd mix because she's kind of like a support champion with poison output. But this could open up some potential, synergies for her in the future. For perhaps right now, the only synergies I see with her is actually coming from maybe Nell, like immediate use wise. But maybe in the future, poisons will come back into the mix. Right now, poison is just not super meta outside of maybe like Nell. I'm talking about like live arena or arena and stuff like that. In order to get points for this deck of fate, you will have to be doing training, so any kind of leveling or ranking up, and or soul stones. So soul stones looks like the point breakdown will be 7,700, 3,500. This is the standard point breakdown for champion only deck of fates. Usually we have seen them give us a little bit more points per soulstone in other champion deck of fates, but I feel like this is kind of like the standard 170, 700, 3,500. This means you need about 57 of the immortal soulstones to complete this entire deck if you want to use soulstones completely, or you multiply that by 10 for the mortal soulstones, which means it's about 570 mortal soulstones to complete the entire deck. Or eternal soulstones, you need about 11 to complete the full 40,000. Now, this event is going to be 4 days long, so make sure you guys spread out all your activity over 4 days and do as much training as you can. And that's going to be the way that I'm going to be approaching this deck of fate, by doing as much training as I can in 4 days, and then seeing what the total is after on basically like the last day, or until I can't stomach any more training. Then I'll pull my soul stones. There's no soulstone boost or anything like that happening right now, and there's no indication that there will be one coming during this event. So you ideally don't want to pull that many soul stones without the boost, but if you need them for points, then that's what you have to do. Anyways, guys, so that's going to be the deck of fate that's happening. Just a quick little recap there. Let's jump into some Plarium announcements. This is probably what you guys will be very interested in. So first up, we have upcoming on Tuesday, June 23rd. So that's going to be tomorrow. There's going to be an extra legendary event for Sacred Shards. Here you go. For Sacred Shards, we have an extra legendary event. You might be familiar with the mechanics. If you summon a legendary champion from a Sacred Shard during this event, you'll get a different extra one from the same shard. It only works once per user per event. So we finally get a extra legendary event. Now, this is Plarium saying, hey, we wanted your shards on the weekend. We want your soul stones today for the deck of fate for Tena. Now we want your shards again during the same period of time. So there is a lot of stuff to spend resources on right now. And keep in mind that we have a hero's path coming later on this week that we don't know exactly what will be part of it. We know that there's going to be 400 Titan points in this week's hero's path, but there could be some really nice goodies in there. We don't know. I find it very difficult to say it's going to be Varkos, another guaranteed champion. So putting 2 guaranteed champions in 1 week, I find it very difficult to say that, but hey, you never know. Right now, we only know there's going to be 400 Titan points in that hero's path this week. So with the extra legendary event, basically you're still getting the same 6% rate to pull a legendary from a sacred shard, which is very bad, obviously. But if you pull a legendary, you're going to get 2. Now, who's going to be pulling for these events, or who should consider pulling for these events? Basically, anybody that has gone a really long time without pulling a legendary from a sacred shard should maybe consider this event. Especially if you've been, let's say you've gone like 20 sacred shards without pulling a legendary, then you would have had a significant boost on your mercy. So this allows you to get additional percentages every sacred shard after the 12th one without a legendary. Now, even if you've pulled 20 without a legendary, it's still not great odds. You're getting about, it looks like it's going to be 8, 16, 22% chance to pull a legendary after on the 20th, or the 21st sacred shard. About 20% chance to pull legendary. So it's not great. It's better than 6%, but it's still not great. So first, somebody would ideally be in mercy, deep in mercy. Second, you ideally need to have a good boatload of shards. So just in case you need to pull more than you want, even if you're in mercy, you want to make sure that you actually hit the legendary, so you make this event worth your while. You don't want to go away empty handed if you're going to commit shards to this. And also, you want to be prepared with a stockpile of extra shards just in case there's going to be worthy events coming in the near future, and you don't want to be caught with your pants down and not prepared for those. Now, with that all being said, this is not a great event for players that don't meet these specific conditions. So 1, deep into mercy. 2, large stash of sacred shards, because beyond that, it's a big gamble. It's a very high risk, high reward type of gamble, and it's going to leave people feeling very empty handed if you come up with nothing. And the other thing to consider is that the non-void, non-mythical, or whatever legendary pool, the normal pool of champions, is so vast that there's so many different champions that could come out of this shard. The quality of the champion is very, very questionable. So even if you pull a legendary, it's very likely that you're not going to get something that is of substantial value, depending where you are in the game. Of course, if you pull 2 legendaries while you're progressing through the game, most likely those legendaries will be absolutely amazing for your account. But for the most part, there's a lot of filler champions in the non-void legendary pool, and most of them are not that helpful for most people. So keep that all in mind, guys, when pulling for this event. Honestly, it's a bit of a bait event unless you fit those specific criteria that I just laid out, and you're willing to assume some of this high risk, high reward situations. With that all in mind, I mean, it's one of the funnest events. You get 2 legendaries for a single shard, which is very cool, of course, but it's a pretty big gamble. So anyway, so that's the first bit of news. Here we also have the dungeon bonuses that's going to be upcoming for some of the turn attack events that we have leading up to the end of the Titan event. We have the Dragon's Lair speed set, we have Fire Knights for regen, and then we have Provoke for Ice Golem. Just an FYI there, this is nothing earth shattering. But what is earth shattering is the next bit of news here. It's not actually a bit, it's actually quite a lot. We'll unpack it here, and it's going to be this. We have massive quality of life updates coming in the next patch. 11.65 is just around the corner, and it's bringing plenty of quality of life changes. So here's the first one. I'm just going to break them up in a more digestible manner here. So first, we have Live Arena Win Streak, guys. Live Arena Win Streak will update Live Arena with this new feature. It's called the Win Streak mode. It will be available to all players when the Live Arena season is inactive, okay? And will present a simple challenge. Secure 5 wins per day or be eliminated after reaching 2 defeats. The win streak will last 3 days, and the more you win, the better your rewards. To participate, you have to spend the win streak ticket. Each player gets 1 ticket when the win streak begins, and that's it. You can't hoard tickets, you can't buy tickets. These tickets refresh every 24 hours while the win streak is active. You claim your performance-based rewards at the end of each streak. Losing a battle does not reset your progress. So even if you win 3 and lose twice, you'll get rewarded for 3 wins. Note, if you leave your win streak unfinished, it will carry over into the next day. That's pretty sweet. So far, example, winning 3 arena battles in 1 day, then dropping it and picking up the next day, you'll leave with a unfinished win streak and 3 wins in it. So we have a little bit of teaser image here from the new update for Live Arena. I'm going to put that on screen right now. You can kind of see right here at the bottom corner that we do have the Yeah, we do have the chest here. It doesn't say what's in the chest, but it shows you 5 chests. So obviously, one chest, each chest increases with each win, up to 5 wins. And as mentioned, it only happens during non-seasonal play. I mean, this is just a net positive, I think, for the player base, right? They're just giving us some free goodies for some increased activity. And this is a, reoccurring, refreshing kind of system. So there's nothing we have to spend here. We obviously just have to participate a little bit more in Live Arena. Now, this could be, if you were cynical, you would say that, hey, Live Arena is dying. Therefore, they're trying to increase more activity in Live Arena. Uh, but the thing is, it's non-seasonal play, so it's kind of like it's pretty low stakes, I think. Why would they want to increase activity during non-seasonal playtime? Maybe they're seeing a big drop in player activity during non-seasonal play, and maybe they're finding matchmaking a little bit harder. I don't know. But purely this is just to increase the engagement for Live Arena. I would not look into it too deeply. I think it's a good thing. I don't think the format is dying or anything like that. It'd be interesting what kind of rewards are actually in this. For example, if they put more primal quartz in this, that's going to be a pretty nice change. Giving us access to some more free primal quartz would be sweet. But right now, we don't know. They haven't disclosed any of that. In any case, it's a pretty sweet update. So definitely a thumbs up on my part. All right, guys, up next, we have new gemstones. The Live Arena Win Streak feature will introduce new gemstones as part of the available rewards. Okay, so there we have it. We're going to get new gemstones in these Live Arena season win streak chests. Although I'm not too sure if those are the only rewards going to be in the chest. We'll be separating the existing gemstones into 2 groups and a dedicated filter for easier navigation, standard, and Live Arena. Disclaimer, we'll make more gemstones for this group available through other means going forward, but that's a matter for future updates. All right, again, we're going to be putting a bit of a teaser image here on screen. So this is the first couple of gemstones that they'll be offering. They haven't disclosed what they do exactly, but here's the first one, the mythical circle gem. Fortuitous velocity increases the chances for the wearer to gain an extra turn from skills by an additional 5%. Now, it'll be interesting to know if this only applies to abilities that already have extra turn percentage built in, or does this give an extra does this give a 5% chance for all skills? Now, I'm not sure. For example, like Uzel of the Jade has some kind of a mechanic where his passive only boosts up skills that already have native 5% native percentage chance for extra turn, for example. So I think this is probably something similar. It's not just going to apply 5% for skills that have no percentage chance, but that's just my guess. But there's our first look at the new gemstones. This HP burn one could be interesting, the purple circle one. But yeah, they look pretty cool. We'll see some new, variety in the gemstones would be pretty cool, and different areas to get them. All for it. All right, guys, moving forward. Here's a big one. We got Chimera quick battles, guys, coming right now. Per popular request, we're adding quick battles to the Chimera clan boss. The mechanics should be familiar to you. You'll need to claim the final reward chest before you can use the quick battles in any given difficulty. The calculations will also account for trials, so you won't be missing anything. So similar to Demon Lord Clan Boss or Hydra, you have to clear the top chest before you can activate the quick battles for that difficulty. I did confirm with Plarium that it's going to be 6 attempts per week. 6 attempts, guys. Now I'm asking for some clarification whether that's 6 attempts per difficulty or just 6 attempts in total across the entire format. I feel it's just going to be the same as Hydra, for example, where it's just 6 per week across everything. So that's great. I mean, this is one of the most asked for kind of updates, just because Chimera is just, a time sink content area that you can't really avoid. You kind of have to just play through it. Even if you don't care about Chimera at all, but you still want the reward, you still have to let the fight run. Sometimes you don't want to see it for like half an hour or whatever, right? So I think this is a great change. Makes the content area a little bit more bearable, to be honest. All right, moving on. So we got the player profile visuals. So update 11.65 will bring a couple of neat improvements to your player profile. as well. First of all, you'll get to choose a new background if you so wish. I'll bring up my, I guess, my profile background. I don't know. So we got this. I don't, I mean, it's fine. A few will be unlocked by default, others will be earned by events, gifted, and so forth. We'll also make it possible to view all badges your fellow raiders earn when you view their profiles. There will be a dedicated button for that. I mean, yeah, that's cool. Aesthetics and stuff is always nice. It gives people a little bit more sense of achievement in the game, improves engagement, I'm sure. And, if it's something that they can sell, then I'm sure they'll sell it to us. But who knows? It'll just be some cool visuals in the background, which is, pretty nice. I don't spend a lot of time in people's player profiles usually, so it's not a big deal for me. But I think that's still a net positive for everybody just to increase our visual appeal, I guess. So, anyways, let's move on to the next bit here. We have a update to the Plarium Play Points program. So the Plarium Play Points program will be updated. Will reduce the point requirements for the first 3 cards and update the rewards for the 3 that follow. There will be also minor UI changes for convenience. The cost of rewards already earned won't change, and you might see your progress shift forward a little, although it won't transfer to the next card. Additionally, as a part of the Player and Play program, Sursa, the chart, will receive a rebalance in the 11.65 update. Wow, this is pretty big. So they're actually going to buff Sursa again, which is pretty huge. Let me check out the Player and Play program. I'm actually not too familiar with it. So I guess that they are talking specifically about this part, the 3 cards. I'm guessing it's down here, these rewards, I guess. Maybe the first 3 rewards. Uh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it's going to look, what cards mean. But it says reduce point requirements for the first 3 cards and update the rewards for the 3 that follow. So I assume that they're changing some of these reward milestones here. You guys can kind of see I'm pretty close to getting Sursa here. Both my accounts are free to play, and I'm getting pretty close. So this is my main account, 22,250 out of 25,000. So I'm really close to the very end of getting Sursa here. On my other account, I'm actually very similar in overall progress, 21, just under 22,000. So both my accounts free to play. Will be getting Sursa, I would imagine, relatively soon. But it's one of the hardest champions to get as free to play. You literally need to be grinding this game for, I forgot how long Sursa has been out. I'll make a video about it when I get her. But I imagine this program has been out for, I don't know, years, 4, 5 plus years probably. So I've been, steadily grinding this game. And yeah, Sursa is within reach. Looks like just in time for a rebalance, which is amazing. She has already been rebalanced before. She still kind of sucks, but it's not something that is crazy high priority, I guess, because she's basically a pay to win champion. If you pay enough, if you buy enough transactions in the Player and Play program, you can pick her up relatively early. So I guess they don't want to give her such a huge power spike that she's like crazy. But with the way the game is going right now, it's kind of like, what's the big deal if you make her, better than usual? And if you guys pay attention to my, annual shareholders report on how Plarium is doing, their CEO said that they're, making tons and tons of money through the Player and Play program. So through the transactions that are made through directly with Player and Play with Plarium, they cut out the middleman kind of percentage cut that they have to give like Apple or Google and stuff like that. So they're making a ton of money. So they're trying to push people towards spending in the Plarium app directly with them. So they cut out the middle person. So I see this as another kind of update to again incentivize players to do transactions through Player and Play. Again, increasing their overall revenue and profits. But I mean, if you're already spending through Player and Play, this is just a net bonus for you guys, right? Get a rebalance on this champion. So again, a thumbs up from me in terms of that update. And lastly, we're going to take a look here at the miscellaneous that are going to be adding in the patch notes here. So background auto climb battles will now include the event dungeon. I think this is a pretty small update because most people don't climb the event dungeon. They kind of just complete it and then they just farm a certain stage. So this is not a huge update at all. The Altar of Souls wishlist chances will be bumped up to 10x instead of 8x. This is a bit of a miss, a little bit of a I don't even know. This is a dot kind of update because it's 8x and it already feels not impactful at all, and then it goes up to 10x. This is a very minor boost, and frankly, a missed opportunity by Plarium to give this a significant, impactful boost. Why not make this 20x? There's not gonna hurt. It's not gonna hurt them that much because getting the correct champion with a good size blessing is still super hard, super difficult to get, pulling them from stones. But hey, a missed opportunity. It's going up to 10x. I don't know. That's such a minuscule bump. I don't think it's going to make any impact. The multi battle champion queue will get some quality of life improvements. The queue itself will increase to 60, up from 20. That is very nice. I really like that. And we'll be adding an expanded filter menu to make choosing your champions much easier. Sweet. I love that. Makes training way easier, especially if you just queue it up and just leave it. You can use multi battles and stuff like that. Previously, this was impossible, like really impossible to do, like training on your phone on mobile, because there was no like kind of automated feature. But now, obviously with multi battles, with this queue system, it's way better. I really like it, and it reduces the reliance people have on the PC for like extra third-party apps where they automatically change food for you. Personally speaking, I don't really use any of those apps anymore, like RSL Helper. Even for things like making food, I got plenty of multi battles. I just run them in. I have the queue. It's all perfectly neat and done. No hiccups, no stalling, no crashes. It's way, I don't know. For me, it just works a little bit better. Obviously, I'm being inefficient by spending my own multi battles, but hey, it's okay. What else? So you'll be able to reorder team presets, moving them up and down on the list as you see fit. This will help with a new UI feature in the preset settings. Yes, this is huge because I was always wondering why this wasn't a thing in the past. Like, well, I'm like, oh, this is a little bit of those small annoyances that they finally somebody saw, right? I remember I was like, oh, this is so annoying, but then it's such a small thing that was it even worth bringing up. So I'm glad that Plarium actually fixed this. It's a very small thing. If you guys know, you guys know. It's basically the presets. Sometimes you have to delete a team to set the preset in a certain area in the order that you want, right? You want some of your more commonly used presets higher up instead of down low, so you don't have to scroll and stuff. Anyways, if you guys know, you guys know. It's a big annoyance. Lastly, a dedicated filter will be added to Minotaur's Labyrinth. It will allow you to hide champions who have maxed out their mastery scrolls. Again, this seems relatively minor, but obviously any kind of minor annoyance fix will be appreciated. So this is a good fix. All right, guys, and that's going to be it. So we got a really big quality of life patch coming up. I assume it's going to be coming with the fusion that's going to be coming at the start of July. So it's probably going to be, updating at the same time as that fusion launch. Now, in terms of just like the craziest impact, like we got new gemstones, we got the new win streak bonus happening in live arena, which is really cool. These are kind of just, bonuses for the player, which is great. The new gemstones and stuff, like I mentioned, we have Chimera quick battles. That's a big one. I wasn't expecting that to come so soon. We recently had a developer talk with some of the Plarium developers, and I think they're probably taking some of the criticism or the comments that we made probably. And looking at them a bit more critically. So we mentioned specifically Chimera quick battles, and I think they didn't give us a definitive timeline, but it was probably top of mind for them. So this is just, them getting it out of the way. So that's great to see. The player profile stuff, not a huge thing, but again, it's a nice little boost. Player play point program. That's very interesting. Obviously the bump to Sursa, very unexpected, because she already received the bump not too long ago, maybe like last year or something. And I'm really excited. I'm excited to see what that upgrade to Sursa is, just because, like I said, she's actually fast approaching on both my accounts. The boost to the auto queue is great. The boost to the wish list for Altar of Souls is meh, but at least they're, maybe tweaking it, hopefully. Overall, lots lots of stuff. Most of them are pretty good. Some of them are really good. So really happy to see that they're coming out with all these quality of life things, hot and heavy, in the past little while. Now, if you like I said, I'm going to refer back to the video where I made about the shareholders report from the CEO on how Plarium is doing. And if you guys recall what I was saying, basically they were just going to take it easy during the summer, while the back half of the year they're going to really ramp things up. So there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be happening in the back half. We don't know right now. I would expect another collab or two similar to last year, probably immediately following this Web of Corruption, kind of in-house collab that they have right now. It's not really a collab, but we just call it collab. It's kind of like in the same category as the collab. Maybe campaign is the better word for it. But I would imagine a really big, big collab IP style event to happen after the Web of Corruption, to line up basically with what the CEO was saying about the rest of the year direction for Plarium. So far, everything they said from the CEO kind of makes sense. They're slowing things down a little bit for the summer, just focusing on quality of life stuff, which has been great, updating things that they haven't updated in a while. And then they're going to gear up for the big events in the back half of the year. So just something to keep in mind, right, guys? If you guys are interested in hearing that video discussion, I'll leave a link in the comments, or I'll leave a link somewhere here. You guys can check it out. It's pretty cool. Basically, Plarium is still killing it in terms of bringing in money, but there's little tidbits of information that the CEO drops about the direction of the game for the rest of the year. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Catches you guys up on everything. We have a extra legendary event for Sacred Shards coming tomorrow. Tena's Deck of Fate is ongoing and active. Make sure you guys do the training first before you guys commit your soul stones to it. And we have a ton of updates coming probably next week with the fusion. So pretty cool stuff, super interesting. A bit of unknown, especially with what the new gemstones are going to be doing, what kind of rewards are going to be in the live streak chest, what the buff is going to be for Sursa. A bit of unknown. Hopefully we'll find out soon, and I'll let you guys know as soon as I find out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Let me know in the comments below which feature you guys are going to be most excited about, and I'll see you guys in the next video.